All right. Hey, hey, welcome back, guys. All right, so I wanted to do a specific message, and this was actually not because it randomly popped up in my head, but because this is like a real situation that happened. I kept hearing like sounds, soft sounds, and was like, who's talking to me? Where the voice is coming from? And it was just it was a stereo that I didn't realize was, on, and that really light sound. And you know how you just pause and you're like, you can't figure out, is it coming in from outside, what's going on? um and that just kind of stayed with me because later on there were just other times where I don't know, it feels like my ears have been straining to hear things that sometimes picking up, like someone in several cars away from me or sounds from, way off in the distance. But my ears, admittedly, like I have tremendous like sinus pressure today. But it feels like my ears are, sometimes you get that weird buzzing sound in your ear too, if you've got like just kind of funky pressure around in the atmosphere. And so I keep feeling like I wish I could just turn up the volume so I didn't have like the muffled sound to my ears, or so I wasn't half picking up stuff without knowing what I was really hearing. So with that in mind, I feel like there's maybe somebody needs to like turn up the volume, or there's messages trying to get through, and we need to either listen closer for them, or we need to, clean out our like earmuffs. You know how sometimes we won't listen to what somebody's really saying to us, because we're only hearing it through our earmuffs of comprehension. So there's just, I don't know exactly how to take this message just yet, but that is the reason I'm doing this one, because I feel like this may be what's really being said, or what is the message. We got to tune into it. Something's trying to come through for someone. Hi everyone, great to see you tonight. Okay, so we've got the Page of Cups. Page of Cups upright is an apology. Is somebody trying to send an apology to another person? We've got obviously like this reminiscing, we've got this photo of, in this case, like a little child sitting there with his teddy bear and his doggy. And it just feels, we've got this old gramophone also. So definitely there could be something coming through for like from music. Somebody could be hearing a song that they associate with somebody from their past. And that could be the message from, here's a coffee pot too, like a French press, like, hey, wake up and smell the coffee. We keep trying to send you this message. You've got to hear it. Maybe the message comes through first in lyrics, in a song. Maybe somebody needs to play a record. That's so funny. I have to, my record player is broken and I'm still waiting for my new one to arrive, so that I can listen to a record. I got one of the Voids did a reprint on Tyranny, and I cannot wait to listen to it, or repress, I should say. Anyway, record players are here, but I'm thinking that this is about a song, a message. There's lyrics, there's something. All of this would connect to like jog the memory or wake a character up to the fact that somebody maybe was trying to say sorry, maybe didn't come out that way. Maybe this is like, we got to go back in our memory bank and remember words that somebody said that maybe we glossed over, or we didn't realize what they were trying to convey. We didn't get it back then. Or maybe someone has sent an apology and we haven't come across it yet. Maybe there's going to be a message to be like, hey, oh, there's a song by Gladys Knight and the Pips that's trying to come into my head right now. It's when they were young. And it's, I think it's called Mr. Postman. Is there a letter in your bag from me? It's not the, hey, Mr. Postman. It's not that one. It's a different one. Gladys Knight is amazing. Anyway, it's on one of their very like first albums, I think. But we got the Death card. This message would change everything. If there is an apology, it would change literally everything. But we have to first be able to hear it. So we got to amplify the right message. But first, maybe we got to get the message to look for the message. I know this feels like multiple times, like we're on a treasure hunt or something. But that's how this is feeling. Justice. It definitely is coming in from somebody who wants so badly to set things right, to heal something. They know that something was said wrong, done wrong. It ended the connection. This could be a Libra, could also be a Scorpio, could also be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but they want to set something right. I mean, this is like I'm coming in heart in hand right now during Year of the Snake. I don't know. We have a character who needs to pay attention. Maybe if they hear a song that reminds them of this person or a song that they've associated. Okay, so there's a song. There's a song that is a great anthem for anyone who's ever been heartbroken and been pissed. Okay. And look, if you don't like cuss words, do not listen to the song. I happen to not have any problem with cuss words, and I love the song, but it's by Amon, Eamon, and it's called I Don't Want You Back. But the chorus of it it's hilarious. It's truly hilarious because I think anyone who's ever been pissed off about the way things ended, and if you felt hard done by, like, that's kind of the sentiments, But yes, there's lots of cussing, and it's this real great rhythm, and it's kind of soft, and it's and then it's got these hard-hitting lyrics, But this feels like maybe there's even a rock song or like, one of those tragic rock opera or R&B songs that is not a happy song, but that sparks the memory of, yeah, you know what, that person really didn't do me right, but that could be the thing that sparks our character to say, I don't know why, but I'm going to go back and reread their old email that still pisses me off, only to discover, oh, they wrote me a different email. They're trying to fix something. They're trying, or maybe I didn't read it right. Maybe I thought something that they said, one piece of punctuation and everything reads wrong. That old joke that punctuation saves life. And it's the difference between saying, let's eat, comma, grandma, versus let's eat, grandma. If you don't have that comma, you don't realize you're talking to grandma saying, let's eat, come on, grandma. It sounds like you're going to devour your own grandmother as the meal if you don't put the comma where it belongs. Sentence structure is really important. Emails, text messages, those things really can be misread, or saying things and reading them in your head in the wrong tone, or listening to a voice message but not understanding the full context without being able to converse back and forth. If it's a one-way flow of information, there's a lot of room for misinterpretation. So all this keeps saying that somebody is desperately wanting to make something right. Maybe they already did try to make it right, and our character has missed the signs. And that's why the universe is like, hey, you need to turn up the volume here. You need to listen to the message we're trying to get to you, which is this person's trying to make something right. Okay. Tell me more about this person. There is a decidedly Latin influence here, by the way. That could just be another specific aspect to the person who wants to make something right. They could be of Latin heritage, or they spent a lot of time in Latin countries, or perhaps they are Catholic. We've got a Page of Pentacles in the reverse. I do not feel like this apology has been received, like, at all. I feel like there's been a complete and utter absence of, and again, here she is, like, reading. She has not read this apology. She did not receive this apology. She has not read between the lines to get the full context of something. This is still missing. There's this missing blank, or there was a text that was never sent, or there was something that didn't show up. Sometimes our phones, block stuff, and then, it comes through later. We've got Queen of Cups upright. It could also be the volume that needs to be turned up is on their side. I didn't think of it that way until just now. If you need to say sorry and you need to fix something and you need to show that you've changed, maybe the message is actually for the apology giver. You need to give love. If you're approaching a Queen of Cups, and you didn't give her love before, and she's not seen this side of you, and you want to come in and say sorry for that, you need to approach with the kind of offer that would be appropriate for this Queen of Cups. Okay, I didn't see this as their message, that the universe is buzzing them, trying to say, pay attention. Look at the photograph. Remember who it is you're in love with. Feel the feels. Remember what you didn't say to them before. Remember the fact that you mess things up. You need to come in heart in hand. You need to come in and show them how you've changed. She's not going to listen to you, or she's not going to want to hear from you. She's damn sure not going to give you her time of day, even though she's a loving person, if you don't come in a loving way. So this could be they need to tune up the volume on what they're about to say. Make sure that she can hear the words, that she can hear their heart. We've got the Strength card upright. This definitely feels like I'm hearing the song Power of Love by Celine Dion right now. Sometimes I am frightened, but I'm ready to learn for the power of love. The measure of intensity of this connection and the depth of what needs to be said, it has to match. The strength of the apology has to match the way the heart really feels, has to match the situation. It's the same thing like, if you are going to go to, let's say you're going to somebody's wedding, everybody knows you dress for the occasion, right? There's just an automatic rule of conduct, unless they send out invitations that say, like, wear your sweats. We're doing a cool, funky wedding where it's like a Sunday afternoon. You're not sitting in chairs and tables. It's going to be a bunch of sloppy couches, and we got little TVs set up for everybody. And it's just this real low key, wear your pajamas, wear your sweats, wear your Sunday, bumming around home, socks and stocks kind of shoes or no shoes. Unless that's what the wedding invitation says. If you go to somebody's wedding, you go and you dress nice because you show respect for the event. You're there and you behave yourself. There's just a code of conduct. Same thing. This person who's going to make an apology, they need to match the event. It needs to be as powerful, as important, as much, reverence as is necessary, as serious as this needs to be. I mean, this was something super wrong that happened that has to be course corrected. This is like, like a karmic thing where they made a snafu where this will follow them through lifetimes if they don't set this right. Maybe because they hurt a divine counterpart, maybe because they messed something up with somebody that was nothing but good to them. And it's like, why did I hurt somebody that was that good to me? And the universe is like, exactly. You've got a serious karmic debt to pay off. And the only way to do that is to come in like it matters that much, because it really does. So can they come in strong? They can't come in and try to casually sweep anything under the rug. They can't come in and casually try to, like see if they can get away with just chit-chatting without addressing what happened in kind of great detail and apologizing very specifically for whatever this was. It's the only way to clear this. And it's going to take a lot of courage to do this. We do have these blooming peonies right now. And I mean, the peonies are pretty much bloomed out. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, the peonies are pretty much all blown right at now. You still see some of the petals hanging on, but in real time, we're just about through spring, and those peonies are pretty much done. So I don't think they've got much time left. This feels like a very present timeline. Let me go back to that death card for a second. Or excuse me, the justice card. I'm staring at the word death on it, but it's the justice card I wanted to clarify. 9 of Cups. They did something really indulgent, really maybe selfish, self-fulfilling. They put, it's all about me, number one, and that's it. They can't do that. So they got to fix this. Can't be selfish. 5 of Cups. They were selfish and it cost them. And what's weird is we've got the little genie lamp over here. In this storyline, it's like maybe they thought, oh, I've got everything I want. I got this wonderful person who loves me. It's all about me. All my wishes are coming true. And that made them more like swaggering and more selfish instead of saying, wow, how lucky am I? I feel like I've got everything I've ever wanted. But instead of cherishing it, then they were just like careless, is how this comes across. And then we get this Five of Cups that is all about like, uh-oh, I was really quite swaggering, and I saw that it was bothering the fact that I wasn't giving to my partner. In fact, I was causing grief there. And I knew she loved me, and I knew I was causing her sorrow, but I was still too caught up in my selfishness. I mean, maybe this person got, we do have the wine glass, so maybe it was like indulgence, maybe it turned into, an addiction of sorts, right? The problem is, and the reason this was such a big injustice is because they put their own like kind of piggish happiness in front of in this case, the heart of the person that loved them. Nothing mattered more than their satisfaction or gratification. And it didn't matter that they were hurting the person that loved them. And that I'm thinking that they loved, I don't know, let me ask, do you love her, or do you just feel like I made a big mistake here? I shouldn't have treated this person this way. No, they loved her. King of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. It's weird though, because it's like they look at her as if she is somebody, as far as like being somebody that they saw as really strong. And maybe that's the other reason they're like, I love her. She kind of knows that. Even if I'm going to like be a little bit more indulgent, it's not the end of the world. She's good. Maybe they spent more time having fun instead of like making sure that they were there for her. And they're like, well, she's so powerful. She's so, independent. She's an independent thinker. She's somebody that, like, as much as I love her and want to give to her, on the other hand, I don't have to give her that much because she's got her own back, she's got her own stuff. But that's not really true. Picking a partner who is powerful doesn't mean that then we can give them less. Ideally we'd be in a place where we don't want to be selfish, where we'd want to care if we're causing them grief. But instead it looks like he was caught up in his own, his own energy of like, no, it's all about what I want. I don't love this at all. We've got the Ace of Swords upright. Ace of Swords upright is, he knows that. There's the truth. Truth of it was, he was kind of getting away with something. Even though it was causing her grief, he didn't care because she's strong. She'll bounce back. It's okay. And he knows that wasn't really okay. Him, her, it doesn't matter. It could be either gender, same sex, doesn't matter. But in this storyline, we can certainly see that there's a reason that this kind of thing happened, and why he needs to actually make it right. Because I think she was really good to him, and I don't think he was equally as good to her, and he took her for granted, is what this boils down to. So is he going to be able to come in and fix this, make this right, settle this, course correct this? We've got the Ace of Wands upright. Ace of Wands upright that's his desire. That's his passion. That's his intention, is to move forward and to course correct. And I think he's doing it not just because it's like, oh, I got to clear my karma. I feel bad about this. And, the guilt is heavy. I think it's because I really do think that he loves her. But I was surprised because in this storyline, what we actually see is that this was more about him. It's the turning up the volume and listening to the message was like remember who you're going to approach. Somebody who treated you really well, somebody who loved you a great deal, and somebody that you kind of gave the shaft to. So you need to go ahead and course correct it by really coming toward them in the right way now. Don't just come in with a mild off the cuff apology or come in and see if you can avoid the apology. Like, this needs to be handled head on directly. We saw that strength card needs to be handled, face to face, eyeball to eyeball, and with great care. I don't know if this is going to be something that, okay, now you can fix it and they can get back together and they're in love happily ever after, or if it is just simply, I was selfish, I was inconsiderate, I knew that you were really strong. So it kind of made me feel like I could be kind of like a teenager that's really indulgent. That's what that Nine of Cups came across as, is somebody that was just all about themselves. And, look, we can all be selfish, right? But when we see that our selfishness is hurting somebody else and we still proceed with it, that's where it's like, wow, this person did not have like self constraint, and they didn't have the caring that they should have for the person that they loved. That's the thing that they've got to really apologize for. What happens after this apology? Because I do see that this is coming through. Eight of Pentacles, the Sun. I do think it'll come across as sincere, but there's still going to be a lot to think about, a lot to chew on. There's so many photos here. I don't know if this feminine here is going to be like flooded with all kinds of memories. Sometimes, paintings and photos hanging on the wall are like, especially because it's behind her head, it could be like she's going to remember. I'm hearing that song by Richard Marx. I remember all those endless summer nights. There might have been a lot of really good times, but also some bad ones. But it might, kind of like make her think, well, that's really nice. In those, I have memories that have been tainted, but it's kind of untainting them. I'm seeing a positive silver lining to the fact that I met them. I'm seeing something beautiful. I mean, the fact that they're coming in to actually apologize is huge. I think this could go a long way to like softening and warming. I think both of them are going to benefit from this. Saying you're sorry to somebody and then having them receive that apology is really beautiful. So I don't know. I do really love this because if anything, it just makes life better for the both of them. I think that's really important. All right, I'm going to leave this one here, you guys. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Sorry, I had to do a little housekeeping in the midst of this. I'll probably go back through and try to edit that out. I love to do the lives, but I never know what's going to happen in the lives. Sweet dreams, everybody. Bye for now.